Projections now in for all 50 states and D.C. Joe Biden with the same number of electoral votes Donald Trump claimed victory with 4 years ago. At the time, Trump called it a landslide. And as we come on the air this morning, after refusing to accept the results, the president seems closer to admitting he lost. Trump tweeting that his opponent won because, quote, the election was rigged. But he did use the word won, although he has not conceded, and the president continues to spread falsehoods without evidence. It comes as his administration stalls the transition process. A growing number of Republicans have come out in support of Biden receiving the intelligence briefings traditionally afforded to presidents-elect. Trump's actions have the potential to affect the country long after he leaves office, whether he admits defeat or not, likely to make it harder to bring together a nation Joe Biden has promised to unite. While the president-elect has been calling for unity,
this election is over. It's time to put aside the partisanship and the rhetoric that designed to demonize one another.
It's not going to be easy, as the president refuses to concede and continues to inflame his 70 million-plus voters with the false message that the election was rigged.
I will never accept Joe Biden as president. I mean, if that's your question, that's my answer. I just don't believe that he's right for our country.
You think Donald Trump has won?
Absolutely, I do. I mean, for me to believe that Joe Biden got 78 million votes, got the most votes of any president ever in the history of voting, I find that very hard to believe.
It's never going to be accepted. It's never going to be accepted.
On a quintessential late fall afternoon in a middle-class neighborhood in Youngstown, Ohio, I talked to Gino DeFabio, Tony Esposito, and Laird Eric Wells. Gino and Tony were Democrats until 2016.
We always said that if we ever had a person that talked just like us, that ran for president or ran for an office, we were voting for that person. And that's what Trump is.
As Trump continues to baselessly declare he won the election, that's all they need to hear.
There's a recipe for disaster when they decided to have these mail-in votes. I don't think there's any way of proving the person that mailed that in is the person that actually did it.
You look at what secretaries of state have said. They have seen no evidence of massive fraud.
From my vantage point, there's too many smoke and mirrors in terms of ballots appearing here, reappearing there, disappearing here, this, that, and the third. Where there's smoke, there's fire. When we deal with globalists and liberalism, I'd put absolutely nothing past them. There's no way. It just doesn't smell right. Too many irregularities.
And even though Trump's own Homeland Security Department is calling this the most secure election in history, mother of four Carrie Paschal also believes the election was rigged.
He was winning. It goes into nighttime. All of a sudden, you wake up the next day, and the state that was red is now blue.
So many people voted absentee, which is one of the reasons all the votes came in late. But you just don't trust those votes?
They kept finding them. It's like, how come you're finding them here, find them there? You weren't finding them in big Republican districts. It just seemed kind of crazy that everything that seemed to come in, how is it 100% Biden?
She gets along with her neighbor Mike Hall, a Navy veteran and Biden supporter, when they don't talk politics, but he worries Kerry and many other Trump supporters will never be swayed by Biden.
Can he bring the country together? I think he can do a heck of a lot better job at it than the current president is doing, for sure. But one man is not going to heal this country. There's just too much divide.